And joining us now is Ryan Bomberger, founder of the Radiance Foundation. Ryan, great to have you with us.
It's great to be here with you.
Well, you have such a powerful testimony. For those who aren't familiar with it, would you mind sharing a little bit?
Sure. I'm the 1% that's used 100% of the time to justify abortion. My birth mom experienced the horror and the violence of rape, but even though she was a victim of that violence, she did not make me a victim of the violence of abortion. And so she gave me life, she gave me the gift of adoption. I grew up in a tiny little family of 15, where 10 of us were adopted. I was the first one, so it obviously went well, and every year a new flavor was added to the family. But I grew up adopted in love. I was conceived in rape, but I was adopted in love. And now I'm a father of 4 with my amazing wife, Bethany. We raise our 4 kiddos, and 2 of those kiddos are also adopted. So we're just really passionate about just illuminating that every human life has purpose, planned or unplanned.
Yes, and adoption is such a crucial part of your story, and I love that. I have a sister who's adopted. Give a shout out to Mia. She's basically my twin. We were born 23 days apart, and she came into our family when we were both 6 months old. And I always say that, you know, it made me passionate about the pro-life movement to have an adopted sister. Yeah. Talk to me about how that's affected you throughout your life.
It's why I am the person that I am. I can't imagine, people say, well, wasn't it crazy? Wasn't it chaos to have all those kids in the same house? Well, occasionally I kind of cause a lot of the chaos, but I wouldn't be who I am without one of those individuals. You pull one out and it changes who you are.
Sure.
And so with 13 kids in our house, because my parents had 3 homemade first, I don't know, and adopted 10, but we all contributed into fashioning and forming who each of us are. And so I loved it. We didn't look like a lot of other families around us, although there were a number of adoptive families that we were close to. And so we saw some reflections of ourselves, but it was awesome because we got to talk about adoption with people. And they got to have this close connection because of our family store that we owned in the community. And they saw adoption, and actually it changed hearts and minds just seeing and interacting with our family. So God used it in mighty ways.
That's right.
And what about the bond, between the siblings?
People often ask me, well, one, do you remember their names? Yes, I remember all their names, sometimes. And then they ask, well, are you close? Now, inevitably, you're going to be closer to some siblings than others, and yes. In fact, we just had a family reunion just about 2 weeks ago.
Oh, that's wonderful.
And we're still close. There are some, who may not be as close, but it really is amazing. We're supportive. We just love each other. My mom, my dad passed away. Actually, he passed away on the anniversary of Roe v. Wade in 2021 as a result of, everything going on during COVID. Yeah. But his life redeems that day for me.
Yes.
My parents are a huge reason why we're so close, because they poured Jesus into us. They poured their faith into us, and that's why we do love one another, even with all of our faults.
Yeah.
And I have plenty of them. Yeah, probably the most in the family. But anyway, but yeah, we're close, and I just love that God is still using the story of adoption in so many different ways, not just through my siblings, but through their children who are also adoptive parents. Just the legacy of love keeps going on and on.
It's really beautiful. You mentioned your wife. I know she's over there. They can't, so we see her.
Yeah.
But there she is. We see her. Well, the two of you wrote a book, a great book, and we have it here. And I'm going to hold it up. I don't know if and it's called She Is She. Tell us about She Is She.
She Is She is a book that Bethany and I wrote because we are so heartbroken as to where the culture is going. Culture that's trying to lie to children, saying that we can't possibly know our core identity. Of course we do. God created us male and female. Before he made family, he made male and female. And so we have in our schools and in so many institutions just this gender radicalism that's happening. And so the book, it's adorably illustrated children's book, and it's age appropriate because I know the world is always trying to target our kids with all kinds of toxic stuff. It's age appropriate, but it really celebrates beautiful, undeniable, biological her. And in a world where we have Supreme Court justices that can't tell you what a woman is, we know what a woman is, we know what a girl is, and we have a culture that is so bent on erasing women and girls. And so that's why we wrote this book in rhyme, and it also has 2 sections after that part that say, what does the Bible say? And then what does science say? Because science reinforces the Bible over and over again. And so it's just a way just to celebrate the beauty of being a girl, the beauty of motherhood.
Yeah. And
she is she.
She is she, and she is a mother.
Yeah.
And whether you're a birth mother or adopted mother, it's such an important role to take on.
Yes, absolutely. And sheisshe.com has more resources. So if an adult wants to go deeper with a teen or with their children, there are more resources where they can just dig deeper.
Ryan, you spoke a bit earlier about how the anniversary of Roe versus Wade is an important day for you. And, you know, now we're sitting here with Roe versus Wade overturned for the first time, celebrating the March for Life. What does it feel like to you to be here today?
I mean, it's just a reminder that when we feel like something is impossible, we have to remember that God is the God of the impossible. I mean, slavery abolitionists must have felt defeated over and over and over again. It's going to be impossible to abolish this evil. And here we are in a political climate where it felt impossible. And God reminds us, don't give up. I mean, many times in our lives in different situations, victory is right around the corner and we quit before we get to the corner.
Right.
Just a step away. And so the Dobbs decision is just a reminder that we can keep on, well, we're going to keep on fighting even beyond this because I know it's a state-by-state battle, but keep on fighting. And this is a beautiful reminder, I believe, from God that our work is never in vain. Especially when we're talking about fighting for those made in the image of God who are being destroyed. Millions and millions, over 64 million now. So it's just a day of celebration,
Yes.
I think, today. And I'm excited to join so many other pro-life Americans and people from around the world, actually, who actually come to the March for Life here in D.C.
Yes,
Can't
well,
wait.
it's a joy to have you in the studio for a small part of this day. Thanks for joining us, Ryan
Absolutely.
Bomberger.
And your wife, too.
Yeah.
Yes.
Good to see you.
Good to see
Thank you
you.
guys for being here.